guys, it's Lynn with Littlefoot Nursery. I'm here to do a chat video today, and I have in this video my silicone baby Evelyn, who is the Emerson Sculpt by Noe Art Dolls. And I wanted to chat a little bit about, I was thinking a little bit more about virtual doll shows, and I'm just wondering if they're here to stay, or if this was just a temporary stopgap measure due to the COVID-19 pandemic. So what I'm referring, so just a little bit of history for those of you guys who might be new to this reborn in silicone baby hobby, and not have no idea what I'm talking about. So typically there would be, so doll shows were really have been traditionally just a great way for collectors, artists, and sculptors, to kind of get together on a regular basis and really share the art and share the love of the art. And for me, these shows, I think, have been very important for me to just maintain my interest in the hobby. I think that not having this community aspect has been really tough for me. I have found myself, again, I don't know if I've just been distracted by life in general, or if I've kind of dove in head first into other interests, but I find myself lately just much more interested in other things. Like I'm a big Disney fan, so I've just been all about Disney lately, and I have a small Disney YouTube channel called Loving Everything Disney that I started a while back, and I've been sporadic about, I really haven't uploaded much content there, but I've kind of been toying with the idea of maybe shifting some of my focus from this channel and still keeping it going, but maybe just doing much less frequent videos and just trying to invest a little bit more into my Disney channel. I don't know. I've been kind of going back and forth. But anyway, I think part of what's to blame for that, for me at least, has been the fact that we haven't had, a doll show, an in-person Rose doll show in a few years. And so the last show that I went to was 2019. So now it's been 2 years, since we had that show. And by the time we have the next one, it will have been 3 years, you guys, since we last had a show. I know when the show was canceled last year, it was definitely to be expected and very disappointing. And then this year, things really still weren't back to normal, where we felt like we could do a big gathering like that. And now with the whole surge of the Delta variant, that was absolutely the right call. So anyway, by the way, I'm going to change this sweet girl into this adorable Winnie the Pooh romper. I'm just, again, really obsessed with everything Disney at the moment. So I'm going to change her and chat about this. And so, but one of the cool things that I got to witness, having kind of participated briefly in the Rose Doll Show online show, is I noticed that, I noticed that there were a lot of people who had an opportunity to join that show virtually, who, normally, for whatever reason, whether it be cost or time off or whatever it might be, or maybe physical limitations, just being, physical illness, confining you to not be able to travel. I think there were a lot of people who really enjoyed being part of that show virtually, and have sort of asked the Rose Doll Show folks to consider having a virtual component to the show in the future. So it just made me wonder, hey, I think for me, the virtual show, there's no comparison to the real show. I don't want to say real show, but the in-person show. I think they really did the best that they could do, given the circumstances, doing some fun virtual games, and they still did baby giveaways and things like that. And honestly, I was so busy at work, at the time, that I really didn't have the opportunity to participate as much as I wanted to, but I did join a couple of sessions, and it did look like a lot of fun. And they did a virtual contest where you could look at photos, and the judges would just judge and then kind of pick a winner and things like that. But yeah, I mean, I thought all of that was really, really cool. But oh my gosh, this baby. Just when I'm kind of saying oh, have I had enough of this hobby, I then just pull out one of my babies and I fall in love all over again. Look how cute she is. Oh my goodness. Oh, he's so cute. part of me, like, wonder, like, I think with just COVID and all the like, one thing I have not done in such a long time is just like take one of the babies out, um, or just kind of enjoy them outside of making videos. Sometimes I feel like making videos is a little bit of a has become a bit of a chore for me because I have so much going on, and just other ways I want to be spending my time. But yeah, holding her in my arms, it just kind of reminds me, like, what an awesome baby she is. And just, I have some really wonderful dolls in my nursery, and I'm so lucky. And even though I haven't been adding, there have been a few babies I've seen, and like, my heart like skipped a beat, like, so. And I think one doll that would be really fun to add, to my collection, would be a silicone cuddle baby. But right now, like, it's just interesting. We get like, and I'll talk about like prices and things like that in like a separate video. That's actually a really good topic. But anyway, I yeah, I was just thinking about like the virtual doll show thing, and like, hey, is that here to stay? I mean, I think that there might be some kind of component of the doll show that would be virtual in the future, just to kind of invite people to join or participate, um, who just can't make it out to the real show. But I don't know that I guess I don't know what incentive they would have to do that. If it's, and I guess I don't know that people would pay to access something like that. I'm not sure. Maybe if it was like a smaller fee, they could. But yeah, I mean, it would definitely require some tech savvy and just like a lot of coordination. So I'm not really sure in practice, like, how would that really work? But I think it's an interesting idea. And what would be cool about it is, because I do feel like for the artists, the whole point of doll shows is to kind of like get recognized for your work. If you enter a contest and you win a contest, that's definitely like just great publicity, great recognition. And just like, and also just, of course, from a business perspective, bringing dolls to the show to sell, and so making money that way. But from what I've heard from, the artists, a lot of them don't really make that much money, because you have to factor in expenses to travel to the show, hotel, food, um, the um, the cost to have a booth and things like that. So a lot of them are lucky to just kind of break even, or maybe just a little bit more than break even. And some people, flat out take a loss on doing these shows. But I think people do it, and people love doing it because it's like the social aspect. Like, that really is something that cannot be replaced when you're doing a virtual show. So I do think that virtual doll shows, will not ever replace in-person doll shows. I just think they can't. I think one aspect of a virtual show that would be great is if there's somebody who's like genuinely looking to purchase a doll, a baby, and if there was a way for them to see it virtually, like if somebody, could like take a video, like, I don't know, a live stream or something like that, and show that doll, and then have the person purchase it remotely, that could be interesting. Although, I mean, then other questions factor in, like, okay, because at the doll show, when you buy a baby, you're usually just getting the baby and the outfit the baby's wearing. You don't get the full box opening experience. That it does depend on the artist. Like, when I bought my Mia, who's the Ella by Jenny Lee, Jenny did give me like a bunch of outfits. So, but Mia was also an expensive doll. So, um, yeah, so that really, is, kind of, it's just something to think about. I think for artists, it's not like they can maybe price the doll a little bit less expensive because they're not doing that full box opening. They don't have to worry about shipping it. So that would be the drawback, because, if they were just going to sell a doll and ship it, why not just, why not just do that, at home via eBay or something like that. One thing that could be an idea would be, and again, just to be fair to the people who like traveled and spent the money to be at the show, you could have like the 2 days of the actual show, and then maybe you have the third or last day where it is virtual, and you offer up to the general public the babies that were not sold, and give an opportunity for people to bid or purchase that way. And then you could ship the doll from the show, and then not have to take all those babies home with you. So that could be like another idea. Um, Kind of like on the last day, but then you would really be limited to the dolls that are just there on the last day. But what do you guys think? I'm totally open to your ideas and kind of curious like how we could kind of make some kind of a hybrid in-person virtual doll show for the future, because I do think it's a good idea, and it is really nice to be able to have a broader audience reach. It's really nice for the artists and really nice for the collectors to have another venue to um, to kind of interact. But yeah, the doll shows really are like, I once talked to somebody from Bound for Baby, and they're the ones who put on the show for Rose, at least. I mean, and there are other doll shows, of course, all over the world, but they barely, I think, break even. And I think there have been years where the people putting on the show take a loss. So don't think that, all that money you're paying is going towards like making Bountiful Baby a massive profit. It really is not, because renting the space is so expensive. So it's just something that they do it because they love it and because they love the art, and they do it for us. And I think that's just so awesome. So um, anyway, I'm trying to kind of like keep my love for this hobby alive. And again, I really do still love and appreciate the babies in my collection. I by no means want to get rid of any of them or sell any of them, but I'm kind of in this weird limbo phase where my collection has stagnated a bit, I feel, and I don't know. Um, but yeah, I do feel like the doll show and lack of in-person doll show is a factor in that, because I feel like this happens every kind of early summer where I start to kind of have a lull where I'm just a bit less interested in the hobby. I kind of just go through phases. It's just how I am. And then then I go to the doll show and I have like an amazing time. And then when I come home from the doll show, like my love for the hobby has like reignited, it's just seeing all those beautiful babies and bringing my own baby to the show and interacting with other collectors and talking to artists and going to the baby shower and all the events. I mean, I always just have the best time. So I really do miss that. And I'm hopeful for one day, fingers crossed, when, we can get the vaccine, everybody, like more people can get vaccinated. Oh, by the way, today as I'm filming this, they just passed the FDA approval. We now have official of FDA approval for a Pfizer vaccine, and I'm sure it'll follow for Moderna and J&J as well, because there are some people who were hesitant to get the vaccine because it was authorized for emergency use but hadn't gotten like the full FDA approval. But it's great news that the vaccine has now received full FDA approval. So for those of you guys out there who have hesitated up to this point, I really do encourage you to get it. The Delta variant is surging. It is very contagious. My family, we're trying to be more cautious again, just because the kids are in school. They have to go to school. But I am worried about them every day catching this thing, because cases are up in my town, and it's just a little crazy out there. So just be careful out there. Get vaccinated if you haven't already. Don't wait until you're on an ICU bed wishing you had gotten vaccinated. That because by then it'll be too late. And if you're like on a ventilator fighting for your life, like, I don't wish that for any of you guys. And so put politics aside and just like go by the science. And sorry, I will get off my soapbox here in a second. And I know some of you guys just still do not want to get it, and that's your personal choice, but I really think you're taking a big risk, by not doing that. So um yeah, anyway, it's so hard to just see people, choosing not to do that right now. Anyway, that's just my thought, my opinion. Didn't mean to go on a tangent, but I do feel like we have to get this virus under control if we're going to be able to have things like in-person doll shows again. So that's really my sincere hope. And anyway, that's all I have to say about that. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Evelyn is going to say bye to you guys, and I hope you guys have a great day, and we will see you on the next video. Bye.